sort of you can say the experience in teaching as well as the clinical experience as well. So this is what I believe, that the knowledge should be spread around and knowledge should be given to all juniors and the seniors across the border, whoever needs it. So I'm here and I will be talking today. In particular, we are going to talk about this MRCPI, because MRCPI exam is going to be in September. So my aim is to, they give guidance on MRCPI theory, how to go for this exam, what are the salient points on which you can work and pass this exam in one go, and what exactly is going to be the your strategy in the last 1.5 months to crack this exam in one go. All right. So meanwhile, if you guys have any query, anything you want to ask, you can write down in the chat box and even in the end as well. And after giving the brief introduction of this MRCPI, I am going to be discussing the couple of important new guidelines on MRCPI. Okay. Irish guidelines on OBGY. So we are going to be talking about what exactly is the difference and how we are going to memorize it, how we are going to bring it in our the theory as well as in our OSCE exams as well. All right. So this was, the kind of my brief introduction. If anybody has any question, out of this, so you guys are open to ask. You guys can open your mic. You guys can, write in the chat box as well. So I will try to answer, with the best of my knowledge. All right. So am I clear so far? Any question? Mm-hmm. Hi, Hafsa, Saima, Sarah, and another Sarah, Noor. Okay, Sanya or Sanya. All right. So any question? Mm-hmm. No question. No question is also a good question. It means everything is clear, right? So let's go and let's move ahead and let's see what are we going to do in today's session. So today's session agenda is going to be, first of all, you need to know, because I can see a couple of the new IDs as well, a couple of new students as well, because many students have approached me through WhatsApp, through the Facebook, just to know that what exactly the MRCPI OB-GYN is, how it differs from MRCOG, how it differs from FCPS, Pakistan, for the Pakistan candidate, of course, and how it is going to bring a change in our practice, a change in our, the knowledge as well. So I'll be giving a, the little, the kind of, you can say the important difference as well. So today's agenda is going to be, we are going to know what exactly is MRCPI OB-GYN exam, why to take MRCPI and what are its benefits, what exactly the exam pattern is, why MRCOG candidates should attempt it, and in the end, a brief discussion on, the couple of guidelines as well. So I would request all of you that please mute yourself just to avoid any kind of unnecessary nuisance. Okay. So, we will have a smooth, the session. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So our first, the question, what exactly is MRCPI, right? So MRCPI is accredited by the Medical Council of Ireland as foremost knowledge-based assessment of for obstetrics and gynae in Ireland. So you can say that it is the first step towards the towards becoming the specialist or consultant in obstetrics and gynecology in Ireland. And Ireland, the this RCOG, this Royal College of Ireland has been conducting this MRCI, I don't know, for about, like, I mean, since the we came into existence. And MRCOG, Royal College of Obstetrics and Gynecology UK, that was the founded, and that was the, you can say, that came into existence after this Ireland. So Ireland is the the most, you can say, the oldest, the Royal College, as far as I know. The qualification will show potential employers that you have advanced knowledge for this specialty. You can take history of patients, perform clinical examination, and formulate investigation and management plans, because you are going towards the the road to become specialist or consultant, right? In Ireland, once you become MRCPI, it means you are ready for higher specialist training, which is going to be the final training before individual practice. All right. So this, you can say that MRCPI Ireland OBG is the highest, or the, you can say, the good qualification to become, the specialist. All right. So it doesn't mean that after doing MRCPI, you are directly going to be this, the consultant or this. Can we prepare it in 2 months? All right, very good question. So I'll come back to you, Hania, in just like, I mean, in a couple of minutes. Okay. So just hang in there, just be with me. So I will come to that. So MRCPI, we are clear, right? So this is the highest degree of, the obstetrics and gynecology in Ireland. Okay. So what does it do to us as an overseas candidate? Isn't it a good question as well, right? So how is it going to help? How is it going to give us a window or the opportunity to work in Ireland or to work anywhere else in the, the world? Very good question, isn't it? So how we are going to, to look at this is as well. Having said that, that this is an oldest, the Royal College degree. So it has a worldwide acceptance, in almost all countries. As far as the I know, it has got a very good acceptance in the Middle East countries, in Ireland itself, and for the last couple of years it has been accepted by GMC, to work in UK as well. But still, in the UK it is still, needs to be cleared that whether after this MRCPI you can enter into your, the specialty training program or no. So still, I think these people are working on that. but but with this MRCPI, if you do this MRCPI, you can go to UK as well and you can work there as well. All right. So you can say that, it will give you two benefits out of one, the exam. You can go to Ireland directly, or you can go to UK as well if you really want to work, the outside your own, the home country. Because because me myself, I belong to Pakistan, so of course, when I'll be talking about this, so I can just, the say like this, that if we want to work, the outside Pakistan. All right. So format, another thing, format is very important. The MRCPI obstetrics and gynecology has got two parts. All right. One is written exam, we call it as theory, and the other is the OSCE. All right. So in today's session, particularly, we are going to be talking about written exam because it is going to be held in September. All right. It is just around the corner. So the written and the OSCE. The written exam has got one paper. Okay, so repeat with me. So you are going to be clear because many candidates do not, have this knowledge as well. It has got one paper, 3 hours of duration. It has got 100 single best answers. It is being held twice a year. There is no negative marking. And since, the COVID pandemic, it's online with remote invigilation. Mhm. Stop here. With remote invigilation means that you can attempt this exam from your home as well, from your workplace as well, provided you have got good internet, provided you have got good, the atmosphere, good place to sit, and attempt exam for exactly 3 hours. All right. So I think this gives us a good opportunity to go for this exam, because back in 2019, when I, the attempted this MRCPI theory, so I had to travel to Abu Dhabi. I had to go to Abu Dhabi. I have to, the plan for my travel. I had to go, the this and that, blah blah blah. You can, just imagine, how does it, the cost you your time, your finances, your mental health, your everything, because many people, they are not, the, you can say, the familiar, as well as, they are not okay to travel alone. So of course sometimes they have to take somebody along, so it's an extra, the financial burden. So I think till, the it is remote invigilation, so I think this is a good idea that everybody, whoever wants to pursue a good international exam, they should go for this MRCPI obstetrics and gynecology. All right. Theory is going to be from your home, but of course for OSCE you have to travel, and you have to travel. Either you can go to Dublin, Ireland, either you can go to Abu Dhabi, or you can go to Saudi Arabia as well, and I think yes, Oman too. All right. So far we have got almost 4 centers across the globe. Me myself, I chose, the Dublin, because I really wanted to go to Ireland, explore, the Ireland, the after exam. It's a good idea to, to go abroad, even for the exams as well. And then you can explore the nature, the beauty, and you can hang around too. So all these exams, on top of the giving me this degree, giving me this the experience of international exams, it also gave me opportunity to explore the so many countries. So it was a very good idea for me because I found it so exciting. So I think the many of you can also they find it exciting as well. You can travel down to Dublin, you can go to Abu Dhabi, you can go to Oman, and you can go to Saudi Arabia as well. All right, so for OSCE we have got almost 4 centers so far. So I think they are going to increase because the number of candidates are being increased day by day. The of course the many people who are going to go for this theory exam, eventually they are going to go for their OSCE as well. Then another question arises: how many attempts are allowed? This was the the last moment slide which I have the included before this session. Because in the morning when I woke up, I got this the message that Dr. Zaib, can you please tell us that what are the maximum number we can go for this exam, because eventually the every college has got a standard, isn't it? So from January 2019, the maximum number of times a candidate can sit for any part is like, um, they can go for almost, the 6 attempts. Okay. MRCPI examination. It means that you have 6 attempts at each component of the MRCPI exam. Total number of 12s, 6 theory and 6 OSCE. But the let me tell you, for the last the 4 years since I am being the teaching this MRCPI as well, I haven't seen anyone the failing this exam so bad, and in other words we can say that collapsing the theory. All right, so if you are a good candidate, if you are a hard working candidate, if you have a will to go for this exam, if you are determined, okay, trust me, this exam is not going to be that difficult. Okay, so it means that you must pass part 2 examination within 6 years of your first attempt. So it gives you another the big window of opportunity. You can work, you can go for this exam. Whenever you are ready to go for this exam, you can go, but at least you have to pass this exam within 6 years of your first attempt. For example, if somebody has written their the theory exam in 2024, it means by like to 2030 they have to pass their OSCE as well. All right, so total 6 attempts of each component, and in total it is 12. All right, am I clear so far? Hmm? Because you need to understand the structure as well first. Okay, so if you will not understand the structure, things are going to be troublesome later on. Hi Sabi, hi Halima, good to see you guys. How are you? All right, nice, 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 thank you. Okay, very good. Thank you, Halima. Thank you. Hi, Rubab. Very good. Very good. Alhamdulillah. All right. So this question is also cleared, right? So you have to pass your final MRCPI OSCE within 6 years of your first attempt. All right. So it means you have got pretty, the I think 6 years, long 6 years duration to pass this exam. Many people find it the cumbersome, of course, the keeping in view of current inflation, current financial situation. So because this is a costly exam as well, because we have to pay our fee in euro, isn't it? So anybody who is aiming for this, trust me, you need to be clear in your mind that this is not any exam. Trust me, I have been through so many exams. I've been through so many exams, countless. All right. So whenever I go for any exam, I always think, okay, I'm going to book this exam. I'm going to go for this exam. All right. I'm going to give my 100%. But I cannot guarantee success. All right. Nobody can guarantee success. Never think and never fix this idea in your head that if I am going to spend this much amount of money onto one exam, so it means my success is guaranteed. I just have to pass this exam. Okay. So there is no chance that I can fail this exam. Erase this thought. All right. Erase this thought completely. Start from scratch. All right. When I entered into all these international exam, I was already FCPS. All right. So I passed my FCPS in first attempt. right after, the completing my residency and everything. So alhamdulillah, it was kind of a piece of cake for me. I'm just giving you my example. When I went for these all these exams, so I had, this idea that okay, I can pass this FCPS in first attempt. So yeah, I can pass, all these exams in first attempt as well. Overconfident. So what it has led to me? It has led to me a complete failure. Okay, listen to me very carefully. It has led to me complete failure, although I was a bright candidate, although I was a very good student. All right. And throughout my career, I was a position holder, and even FCPS I did in first attempt. All right. So when I entered into this MRCOG, MRCPI journey, I failed theory of MRCOG once, I failed theory of MRCPI once as well. Although it was just with, the very narrow margin. I think the pass marks were 69, and I scored, I think, in one exam 67 point something, and in one exam I think 66 or something. All right. So yeah, and then I realized, then I sat with myself, I analyzed, I realized that okay, my biggest failure was my overconfident, because I was taking every exam so lightly, because I had my background knowledge, I had, the my strength, this thing that okay, I can go for this exam, I can just pass this like this. But trust me, every exam has its own potential, every exam has its own difficulty level. So never take any exam lightly. All right. I had, the one of my, the good friend, we have been studying for MRCOG together. So she used to say that, I never take, any exam so lightly. I give my 100%. All right. So at that time, even, I was bit, the overconfident. I used to say, no, 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 I will pass this exam. All right. So the reason of failure is going to be one, overconfidence. And second is going to be not giving your 100% for any exam. All right. So my advice, my sincere and humble advice for all of you is going to be, whenever are you going for go for any exam, mark my word, any exam. All right. So you have to start from scratch. Erase your previous, the thoughts that you have done this, you have done this, so you can do this as well so easily. All right. Now, please write it down with yourself and revise it with yourself that every exam has its own potential, every exam has its own difficulty level. Likewise, when we compare FCPS with MRCOG and with MRCPI, you know, many candidates struggle to pass FCPS as well. Many candidates struggle to pass MRCOG as well. Many candidates struggle to pass this MRCPI as well. So, what is the reason? Reason is we don't take any exam so seriously. We don't prepare that exam on the guidance of seniors, or you can say the mentors, or you can say whichever, the guidance. Free help is available, paid help is available. So this is us who is going to choose what exactly suits us, isn't it? Yeah. So what you have to do is that, rather than waiting for 6 years, okay, once you pass your theory, do try to write down your, the OSCE right away. Don't wait for years. So what will happen is syllabus will change, many guidelines will come into existence. You have to study a lot, isn't it? You have to go, you have to, the travel, you have to, the things are, the changing day by day, isn't it? I still remember when I gave, the my fee back in, the 2019 for this exam. Although it was, the pretty, the costly, but till date, when I see it today, it is still costly. It is, for me, even, it is out of, the kind of budget. But of course, if you are determined, when I had to write this exam, I had to cut down on so many things. My own expenses, my leisures, my the travels, my here and there, the everything. All right. So you also do that. Do try to focus on your future. Do try to focus on your exams. If you are done with your all these exams, trust me, you will feel so good. And then, the every opportunity will be awaiting for you, isn't it? In terms of that, once you have got that inner peace, that now you are done with all these exams. So it means now you have got, the every penny to spend on yourself, every penny, to work on yourself. All right. You can go around, you can travel around, you can do party or whatever you want. All right, but first focus on your exams. All right. So yes, you know I think since we are born, and since we are into this medical field, everything has been so costly, isn't it? So never think that this exam or that exam or that exam is so costly. Every exam has been costly, it will be costly, it is going to be even more costly in the future as well. All right, so think about that, what exactly suits you in terms of your circumstances, in terms of the how you are going to see or look at your future. All right, and another thing, because we are in online world. All right, or you can say that we are surrounded by so many people when we they go to the hospital or when we see people around. All right, so what happens is sometimes we get overwhelmed by seeing the someone else the journey, or sometimes we get depressed as well, right? Oh my god, she has passed this exam, he has passed that exam, and I'm still at this level. Another the important piece of advice: don't compare your journey to my journey or to anyone else's journey as well. All right, we can't fit in anyone's shoes. We can't compare our life to anyone's life. All right, we don't know what is happening, I don't know you. Okay, you don't know me. All right, so don't compare yourself with anyone else journey in building up the future. Sometimes there's some many candidates, they don't take time. Right after graduation they write their the post graduation exam, and they just move forward. And sometimes according to the circumstances they have to take the break, or they might need to delay their the exams as well. So it doesn't matter. Everybody has the different destiny, everybody has the different the you can say the journey to go through, isn't it? So this should be in your mind at all times again. All right, never compare your journey to anyone else journey. All right, and don't think that okay, he or she has passed all these exams, so he or she is superior than me. All right, third thing, because you are starting your exams. All right, so third thing you should keep in your mind as well is never the focus on this thing, that if I am going to give this much amount to this exam financially, so I just deserve to pass. All right, no, no, this should not be your thinking at all. Why? Because we are giving fee for this exam. We are not giving fee to just pass this exam. You are just going to give your 100%. You are going to the study according to your syllabus, you are going to discuss, you are going to go for this exam. And of course nobody knows what exactly the result is going to be. All right, so please the once you start your journey, so keep all these things in your mind, so your journey is going to be little bit easy. Because I don't know what you are going through in your life, you don't know what I going through in my life. All right, so all the time always think of that, I am going to give my 100%. That's it. This is what we can do. All right, and the apart from that, we always think of the destiny, whatever is written in our destiny will eventually come to us, isn't it? So far, is it clear that how many attempts are allowed and how we are going to go for this exam? And then next question comes, that what is the eligibility criteria? All right, good question, isn't it? So what are the candidates who can go for this exam, and what is the eligibility criteria? So the eligibility criteria is, number one, you have to have graduation plus your house job or internship, whatever it is. And after that, at least you should have 18 months of post registration training. Post registration mean once you get registered with your medical council. All right, so after that you have to have at least 18 months of post registration training in recognized post. 9 months should be in obstetrics and 9 months should be in gynecology or in combined post. Okay, so or in combined post. Okay, here comes another interesting idea. All right, we all go through the post graduation exams, isn't it? For example, in Pakistan, if we are going for FCPS or if we are going for MCPS, we do go for training, isn't it? So if we are going for training, So that training is going to be counted. That training is going to be counted. No, 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 sweetheart, no. No, not after clearing FCPS. You have that's what I'm talking about. Okay, like for me, I have done one training, FCPS training, and with that 4 years training, I have passed my three boards: Irish, UK, and European board. All right. So it's not like that. So altogether, you have to have 18 months post registration training. Post registration means once you get registered with your PMDC, for example, because after MBBS we have to have the temporary license, right? PMDC. After house job we get permanent license, isn't it? So after house job you have to have at least 18 months of post registration. Sometimes they do consider 6 months exact tiny house job, but I believe this is not happening anymore anywhere, isn't it? So yeah, I think it's a good idea that if you have background check, background knowledge of your training, so this exam is going to be, trust me, a piece of cake. If you have done your training nicely, sincerely, if you have worked hard in your the all OBG rotations and everything, so trust me, this exam particularly is going to be a piece of cake, because this exam is almost 80% clinical and 20% theoretical. 360-degree flip to MRCOG, more theoretical than clinical. This is the biggest, the difference. All right. So if you have done even, the 6 months, 18 months of training post registration in OBG, ward, say you have done MS training, you have done FCPS, you have done MCPS. So that training is going to be counted in this. Right. So all you need to do is you have to have your the authentic certificates, you have to have your the valid PMGC. Once the openings will start, you have to make an account the on Irish website, you have to upload your all documents, and then you have to you wait for it. MRCOG is hard because syllabus is so vast and it's kind of never ending. Every day things they keep changing. And, the couple of guidelines are there. Every 4 months we have talk articles. So yeah, MRCOG is bit lengthy and bit the difficult as well. I will tell you the difference. Okay. So the thing is, it is never ending, Rubab, trust me, it is never ending. All right. So the 18 months total training. So if you are done with your post graduation training, okay, another message is there, that what about MO job? Yeah, MO job is also applicable, provided you are working in your OR, okay, operating room, with your consultants, you are assisting your consultants, or you are going to theater, you are going to labor wards. All right. And which I believe the everybody does, provided the same thing is written on your experience certificate. Because once you don't have any experience certificate which shows that you are working purely in obstetrics and gynecology department, dealing with emergency, dealing with labor ward, dealing with operative ward, and the emergency as well. So if it is not written in your certificates, nobody is going to believe that whether you are working as a MO in obstetrics and gynecology as well. So the candidates who are working as a MO in the any of the hospitals, okay, DHQ, THQs, or the secondary care or even tertiary care hospitals as well. So make sure that once you get your experience certificate, so make sure all these the things are written on that. Okay, because the same the letter you have to scan and then you have to upload it on website, and once your experience has been recognized, then only you are going to be accepted as a exam attendee. Okay, Dr. Hania. Thank you. Well, today, because the I will plan. It's in my plans, but I am kicking off with this MRCPI. So perhaps you will be the listening about this MRCOG as well. So do like my page, do follow me, and if you have any question, you can send a text to me as well on my WhatsApp. All right. So inshallah, I will try to guide you. All right. So this is the eligibility criteria. Why to take MRCPI? Additional prestige in your achievement list. Many people have asked me, the back in 2019-20, when I was, going for all these exams. So what is the use of, the going for all these exams? Because it was not in trend at that time. All right. Because I still remember, when I was in my residency, I was doing FCPS residency. Even at that time, I never had any idea about MRCOG at all. Okay. So once I was done with FCPS, then I started my, the journey for MRCOG. But now I they recommend and I advise to all new candidates, whoever is going and they're writing this FCPS part 1, side by side they have to do this MRCOG part 1 as well. Okay. So maybe with little difference they can pass this exam quite nicely as well. All right. Because the part 1 is the basics. So we should have our experience from our current place. Yes, exactly. Okay. Current place means if you are working in purely obstetrics and gynecology department, all right, so yes, you should have an experience certificate. And all participants, please, if you all are working in anywhere, the hospitals or the places, so whenever you leave that place, do try to collect your experience certificate as well. All right. And on every experience certificate, make sure that the things are written very nicely and clearly, that you have been working in OPD, you have been running rounds, you have been the working with your consultants, specialists, assisting them in your the theater labor wards as well, conducting deliveries, doing minor procedures. All right. So it should be written. So by the end, you will reach to a destination to go for any, the international exam. So this experience will be counted. Like I'm giving you my example. Okay, I have done only FCPS residency, and afterwards, of course, I am working as a specialist in a private practice. So yeah, when I entered into all these exams, so I had almost 6 to 7 years experience, including my residency. So when I had uploaded all of my documents, okay, so all of my documents, so I never had any kind of rejection. Private hospitals, yes, definitely. Why not? If you are working, and make sure that be truthful to yourself as well. Okay. If you are working in labor ward, if you are assisting in theater, if you are going and seeing patients in emergency as well, so if you are going to write that, because the same thing is going to help you while you are going to go for this theory and afterwards OSCE. And if later on, if you plan to move abroad in UK or Ireland, so what, because you have written down in your experience certificate that I am well versed in everything, blah blah blah, and once you entered into your clinical practice, you don't know anything. So that is not going to be good for you either way. All right. So this is going to be my advice because I do try to be truthful, I do try to be sincere to myself as well, because whatever I am writing, so it means I am responsible for my wordings too, isn't it? So it's a good idea that if you are working in private hospital, even though as a specialist or as a MO or RMO, so they make sure that you show interest. Okay. Get attached to any consultant. Okay. Do rounds, do try to learn, do try to get knowledge. It doesn't go the wasted just like this. All right. So like I said earlier that this MRCPI benefit is that exemption. Somebody has asked FCPS, if you are FCPS from Pakistan and if you have not done MRCOG part 1, so FCPS is taken as your primary the source of the degree to enter into this MRCPI. Okay. So you don't have to go for MRCOG 1. But for the candidates who have not done FCPS, they are not planning to go for FCPS. Okay. So they can write this MRCOG 1. With this MRCOG 1, they can directly apply for MRCPI 2 as well as MRCOG 2 as well. Okay. So you can see more job opportunities, so many caps, feather in your caps, more doors to learning in competitive environment, addition to knowledge base and enhancement of the clinical practices as well, a new feather in your medical achievement cap, isn't it? So it feels nice, it good, it feels very good by the end once you are done with all of your exam. Okay. Again, the MRCPI booking is a bit the tiring process, bit cumbersome as well, because you have long time to wait. Sometimes you have to, for example, the candidates who have just the filled in their application, so if it is for the first time, so perhaps they are going to get chance, in the next diet, if MRCPI do not have, the that much of capacity. All right. But for the candidates who have already, the filled this application, say, the last year or in the last diet, so I think they are going to get a pretty, the good chance to go for this exam. Again, this thing is bit, the challenging for this MRCPI exam. You know what? Even after, the closing date, you have to wait for at least two to, the, you can say 2 to 3 weeks. By the time, the July will end, you will just have August to prepare, and then 5th of September is exam, 5th or 6th. All right. So anybody who is aiming for this exam September diet, so I would advise that please don't leave any loophole. Okay. Don't just sit and wait for any miracle. Okay, don't just wait for your application to be successful. Start studying. Start studying from today if you have not yet started. Okay, or if you have already started it, so do try to polish your knowledge as well. Okay, because you never know that after 2 weeks you will get either an acceptance or either a rejection of your application. So this way or that way, you have to be prepared for both, things. Okay, so this is bit, the kind of, you can say, which I don't like personally. Okay, because for me, because I have to schedule so many things, so I need to know that okay, that date is my exam. So now my seat is confirmed, my booking is done, and everything is okay, so I'm studying. All right. But every, like, the every college has different criteria, every college has different rules, so we have to go by, them, we have to abide their rules as well, isn't it? So make sure that you are studying on daily basis, and like I said earlier, okay, don't take any exam lightly, because the all exams have equal, the difficulty, equal, you can say that, equal or maybe, the different level of difficulties, but yes, difficulty level is there. All right, because people do fail this exam too, so it's not as easy as it looks. All right, so give your 100%, be the best version of yourself in every exam. Do try to take every exam as a challenge. All right. Yeah. So clear so far? Any question? Hmm? Any question, guys? Hmm? Okay, so I believe there is no question. I'm waiting. Okay, okay, fine. All right. Okay. So now we will move ahead, and then we are going to talk about the strategies, how to prepare for this exam. Uh, thank you, Manha. Thank you so much. I know you have asked me this earlier as well. So perhaps, I'll be talking about it in my next webinar. So at the moment, we will be focusing on just MRCPI. All right. So I think now things are clear that how we are going to go about MRCPI and what exactly is going to be the eligibility criteria, how many attempts, and what exactly the benefit is. Hafsa, is it clear to you as well? Hmm? Munaza, how are you? Sebunisa, how are you? Is everything clear? Hmm? Okay, great. Okay, now we will be talking about how to prepare for this exam. All right. So how we are going to talk about it, and what are we going to, the going to go about it. All right. So first of all, know your syllabus first. First of all, you should know what exactly your syllabus is. If you don't know, if you're not clear into this thing, that how are you going to start your preparation? All right, first of all, you need to know that what exactly my syllabus is, what are the sources, what are the resources, how am I going to start my studies. Then you have to make a good schedule, because all of us, I think almost all of us are working, almost all of us are, the have family, and the many, the household chores to look after as
वो
well.
दोनों बाथरूमों
All
में
right.
घुसे हुए,
So yeah, we need to,
कमरे लॉक्ड है.
think of everything. Okay. So we need to make a good schedule, plus then you have to book a good slot according to your own feasibility and circumstances as well. All right. Once these three things are not in your, the timeline, things are going to be very tricky. Okay. Things are not going to be as easy, as it looks later on. You might be overwhelmed later on, you might get, the confused, you might get depressed. And as a teacher, as a mentor, what I have noticed so far in my, the throughout this teaching career is that we don't get overwhelmed, rather we get depressed. The things are, sometimes different and difficult to handle, to tackle as well. But it doesn't mean that, we are not good students, or we don't have potential to go for any exam. Okay. Like, I have failed this exam. All right. So I had this feeling in my mind that, oh my God, how can I fail an exam? Number one. Okay. And how can, the simply, this was the feeling that how can I fail? So I got so depressed. But the thing is, getting depressed and being depressed is not going to solve your problems, isn't it? You have to get up. All right. You need to, find out what exactly the way is to that, you know, to your, the goal. Which VPN is being used in Pakistan? Yeah, I could see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the VPN, I think you can download any of VPN. Okay. What I do is I use VPN proxy. So I think it works well for me. So you can also download, the Telegram proxy. Okay. It works well for me. I played MRCOG1 through, this is similar to Mrcpi, but yes, there are many differences. Yes, Hania, there are so many differences. All right. So for Mrcpi, again, the syllabus is not that extensive, yet syllabus is there. Okay. You need to know what exactly your syllabus is. Then what you need to do is that prepare with full throttle by not leaving any loophole. Having said that, it means that you have to give your 100% into it. Like I said earlier, don't think that this exam is just, the piece of cake, because you have already passed so many exams. Okay. Every exam has different, the criteria to pass. Every exam has different, the syllabus, different, you can say that, in one exam maybe that topic is not that important, but in the other exam that topic is very much important. All right. So prepare with full throttle, but and don't leave any loophole. Then practice as many questions as possible. For me, this is the biggest failure for every candidate, for every exam. Can anybody give me any reason why we do not like to practice questions or do discussion, rather than we just want to get hold of so many sources to study from? And in the end, we are just, the lost. We don't know where exactly we need to go, right? So why don't we practice questions? Why don't we just focus on ourselves? Because many at times what happens is that, we are focusing on them, we are focusing on him, we are focusing on her. This should not be your strategy at all. Focus on yourself, focus on your own strengths, your own weaknesses. Okay. You need to know, what are the gray areas or what are the weak areas in your preparation. For example, for me, I'm very poor in biostatistics, I'm very poor in oncology, I'm very poor in, the contraception. So what I do is I do touch all these things, but in the end of my preparation, I know that, it doesn't matter, how much time I'm going to waste on all these topics, because this is not my area of interest. So what I do is, rather, the focusing on my weaknesses, I focus on my strong things. The candidates who know me from MRCOG, they know me, that by the grace of Almighty, I'm very good in maternal medicine. because before entering into this obstetrics and gynecology, I did my FCPS part 1 in internal medicine as well. Okay, I started off my residency, but because of the so many reasons, I have to leave that residency and I had to enter into this obstetrics and gynecology. So somehow my background knowledge of medicine is very strong as well. Okay, so the what I do is I work on my strengths. So by the time I will complete my the preparation, I will not leave any chance to do any mistake in my the strengths. For example, maternal medicine module, labor and delivery module, gynecology module, all right, early pregnancy, almost all this. But because biostatistics is not my cup of tea, so I'm not going to waste a single day, a single minute, a single hour on biostatistics at all. What I can see is that candidates are drooling over everything. you know Come on, I am going to get that the thing from that mentor or from that course, from that the group. I'm just going to they keep everything with me. So from where am I going to get the time to study all these things? Yeah. Yes, thank you, Rubab. That's my girl. Okay. Yes. So the maternal medicine is my the strength, and I'm extremely proud of this thing, because I really work hard on every the system, every talk article which is important for pregnancy, of course. All right. So now this is very much important. This should be your strategy, rather than grabbing so many things from here and there, material from here and there, focusing on the so many the things. Focus on how are you going to improve your discussion, how are you going to improve your skills on solving single best answers, how are you going to prepare your notes. Like Rubab, she's my the student from MRCOG. She knows that I always the advise everyone to make your own notes, because it's a good idea. Once you are going to be done with your preparation, you are going to have your own notebook ready to revise from. Okay, so what will happen is, let me show you my the notebook. This is with me almost the all time. And if you can see, these are my notes. Small notebook, you know so I make my notes. So I have got these two notebooks, and these two notebooks have traveled with me you know all around the globe, because they are my the asset. Because whenever I have to revise anything, I'm not going to open that guideline, that guideline, that guideline. I'm just going to open my notes, and quickly I will revise until and unless that thing has been changed. Okay, so it's a good idea that you prepare your notes as well. And please don't rely on anyone else's notes too, because maybe I know that thing, so I'm not going to write down in my notes, but you don't know that thing and you have written down that in your notes. Okay, so don't rely on anyone else's notes, but yes, take help. Okay, take help, but do try to write down, do try to to jot down important points from every guideline, every talk article, or whatever you study. That's really going to help you. Plus revision revision you know is the mother of memorization. If you have studied a lot, if you have studied from that source, that source, that source, that source, how are you going to compile? Never do that. Another mistake. Because the many of us, almost all of us are the very keen learner, and we really want to get indulged into one topic, and we just want to go through from A to Z. Perhaps that is not needed for this exam. Okay, so don't waste your time. Our time is very important. Our time is very, you can say, the costly, I must say. Okay, because it is costing us our energy, it is costing us the our, maybe we could have gone somewhere. It is weekend, I'm sitting here, you are with me. Okay, all right. So it is costing us our time, our leisure time, maybe our private time, maybe our family time, maybe anything. All right. So make sure that whatever you are studying according to the syllabus, according to the recommendations. Don't get indulged into unnecessary stuff because it is not going to help you at all. Rather, you are going to be wasting yourself. You are going to be confused in the end. I have read that book, I have read that book because someone has recommended me this. Trust me, none of the mentor guides you in a wrong direction. Okay? Because of this online world, we are part of so many groups, we are part of so many, the places here and there. So what we do is we just try to, the collect material, we just try to gather, the, I must say, the notes or something like that and shortcuts. Don't do that. Everything is freely available, guidelines are freely available on internet. Okay, all you need to do is just, you just have to, the download. You just need to know how to wisely use Google. Trust me, Google is your best friend in this journey online or in almost all exams. If you know how to best utilize the Google app, trust me, you are not going to, lose any source to study for any exam. For this RCPI guidelines, what you need to do is www.rcpi.ae. IE. Okay. So once you will do that, you will enter into, the RCPI clinical guidelines website. So you can download almost all guidelines. RCPI guidelines have given us three windows. Okay. The long guideline, then summary of the guideline, then patient information leaflet of the same guidelines. Okay. At this level for theory, you just need to download, the either complete guideline or either summary of the guideline. So either thing is okay. Okay. Likewise, for RCOG guideline, www.rcog.org.uk .org.uk. So by, the typing this, you will enter into a complete website. So why cry over, I don't know this guideline, I don't know about this guideline. Make sure that you are, the using your phone wisely and you are just searching yourself. And in the end, even if you don't find anything, okay, help is available. Write down in any group, there are so many good people, they are ready to help around. All right. Okay, now syllabus for this MRCPI theory. RCPI guidelines almost 20 plus. Okay, if we read quick summary, yes, it is going to be, yeah, it is going to be okay. Okay, green top guideline are important, 10 to 15, because the topics which are not being discussed by Irish guideline. So yeah, having said, they have got the similar, the kind of weightage in getting the GMC. So yeah, you have to, they study those topics from green top guideline. For example, polycystic ovaries, PMS, menopause. Okay, nice guidelines. Then the nice guidelines are important. Okay, almost 10 to 12 guidelines are there. Like, I mean, incontinence guideline, yes, Irish guideline is there for incontinence. We are going to study one of that, stress incontinence, but they have not discussed overactive bladder. So yes, for the overactive bladder, you have to open nice guideline. Okay, pelvic organ prolapse, Irish guideline is there, so you don't have to, the study from nice guideline. Make sure that you are not, the overlapping your studies. Okay, so first, the download all Irish guidelines, okay, from website, and then you will be, declare that, these are the topics which are being discussed here. Now I have to look for, the other topics from green top guideline or nice guideline or TOG article. Selected TOG articles needs to be done. And what are those TOG articles? I'll be talking about it. Selected BASH or FSRH guidelines, maybe roughly 5 to 15, okay, not more than that. So you can see by this slide, syllabus is not that extensive. So now, Hania, I'm going to answer your question. 2 months are more than enough if you utilize those 2 months dedicatedly. Okay, and just study for this exam. Trust me, you can pass this exam. All right, all you need to do be is, the stay focused, study smartly. By the end of your, the guideline, make sure that you are solving the single best answers for the same topic as well. It will enhance your knowledge. It will give you an idea that what are the areas, which you need to improve on, and what are the areas which you need to focus on as well. Okay, clear as well
Excuse
so
me, ma'am.
far? Yes.
Ma'am, all those topics were covered in the Irish guidelines.
Mhm.
We're not going for green top guidelines even for those
No,
topics.
no, no. You just need to
Okay.
you just need to do one topic, sweetheart. Okay. So if Irish guidelines are there, like I'm giving you an example, recurrent miscarriage is there, so don't study RCOG recurrent miscarriage. Okay. Pelvic organ prolapse, Irish guideline is there, so don't study pelvic organ prolapse, nice guideline, no need to do, because you already have your guideline. All right. Stress urinary incontinence, Irish guideline is there, so you don't have to study nice guideline. Likewise, EOGBS, early onset, the GBS, Irish guideline, very beautiful guideline. So you don't need to study RCOG guideline. Why? Why you have to study one topic from two sources or so many sources when you have got your clear guidance from Irish, the website. Okay, Sabi, clear? Okay. BASH guidelines or FSRH guideline. Again,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
welcome, welcome. FSRH guidelines, FSRH itself is a diploma in sexual and reproductive health. So never think that you have to do all these guidelines in either MRCOG or MRCPI. You just have to do selected one, right? CHC, combined hormonal contraceptive, progesterone only contraceptives, implants, okay, intrauterine contraception, emergency contraception, right? So these 5 6 topics are very important even in day to day practice. You need to know this, that how and when to prescribe emergency contraception. Is it going to help or is it not going to help? What about LARC? Okay, long acting reversible contraception. How is it going to help? So all these selected guidelines you have to study. Likewise for BASH, right? We do deal with pelvic inflammatory disease on day to day practice, isn't it? Again, for the BASH guidelines, you need to do first of all PID guideline, then out of this pelvic inflammatory disease, chlamydia, gonorrhea, okay, trichomonas, candidiasis, that is common. Common things,
ये देख
common things need not to
टॉक्सर
be, you know, forgotten, and common things should be on your tips at all times. Okay, because roughly almost 30 plus BASH guidelines are there. Roughly, I think 40 or 42 FSRH guidelines are there. So always remember, you don't have to become FSRH specialist. You don't have to become sexual and reproductive health specialist. Be selective. This is again the major mistake what candidates do is. Okay, so don't do that. Are we clear on this syllabus, everyone? Any question? Hmm? Hafsa, Amin, Rubab, Ali, Hania, Saima, Sumaira, Asma, everyone, Farina, Nidhi, Nimra, I think. Okay, say something, okay? Yes or no? So at least I'll be also, the kind of okay. With material things, always get forget from memory how to, oh yeah, how to retain, revise. Halima, there is no chance that every or anyone can become master by reading, the first reading. Okay, only first reading is not enough at all. At least you have to revise, you have to discuss. So discuss, discuss, discuss. What will happen is, example, for example, I have seen one question in the morning. All right, then I got busy in the hospital or here and there. But when I was scrolling through Facebook or my group, so I was looking at the answer. Okay, XYZ has answered this, ABC has answered this, the ABCD has answered this. So what I am doing, I am revising, I am repeating the same practice. By the end, the key is given to that question. The thing is going to be the okay for you. So what you need to do, revision. That is, Saima, thank you. This is what my brother says, revision is the mother of memorization. Once you revise, once, twice, thrice, 4 times, or, doesn't matter how many times. So what will happen is, things are going to be very good in your memory, because human mind has a capacity to store, to retain, to reproduce, and, the two, you can say that, the rephrase knowledge. I'm sure you must have heard in your, the graduation level. We have got, the conscious, the memories, subconscious, blah, blah, blah. So many at times what happens is, even if you have not studied that thing, But when you are in your exam hall, so what happens is that you can recall, oh yeah, that time I have studied this. Maybe not up to that, the exact extent, but yes, because all of us are doctors, isn't it? Like I said earlier, we all go through, the many things in our life. All right. So sometimes, we are not in our right frame of our mind. Maybe, that we are not that focused. Maybe, that we are not paying any attention to anything. But it doesn't mean that you are a bad candidate and I am a very excellent candidate. Trust me. In all these years of my, the teaching career, what I have noticed is everybody has a potential. Okay. Everybody has a strength and a weakness as well. So this is what our job is, that what to focus on, how to strengthen your strengths, and how to overcome your weaknesses as well. Find out. Find out. Sit with yourself, analyze yourself. You are going to be the better judge of your own self. Trust me. Asma, MRCOG part 2, sweetheart. Okay. I will try to, because it was not in my plans yet, but I will try to do something for part 2 as well, MRCOG. Okay. So just give me like the 1 week. So perhaps I will come with a good idea of MRCOG part 2 too. All right. Thank you for asking. All right. So this is the syllabus. All right. So please don't go beyond all these syllabus. You can simply say that 20 from here, 10 from here, maybe roughly 10 from the nice guidelines, selected tog articles 10, 5 guidelines each, 5 plus 5 bash and FSRH. So I think roughly these guidelines can be done in 2 months. Okay. Having said that, 2 months mean it doesn't mean that you are going to the finish everything in 2 months. No, you have to revise as well. So like we have said in the the opening slide, we have to make a schedule as well. We have to give the time frame to ourselves as well. All right. So many students, they have got the capacity to finish 2 guidelines in a day. Reason can be anything. Maybe they have got time. Maybe they are not working full time. Maybe they are like, I mean, kind of having the plenty of time, so they can finish 2 guidelines in a day. They can finish 3 guidelines in a day. It doesn't mean that if I cannot finish 1 guideline in a day, so I'm a bad candidate. I'm not a bad candidate. Maybe, I was so busy, on particular day, so I could not study completely. But very next day, I can finish, the backlog, and I can finish, the according to schedule as well. So mold yourself. Mold yourself according to your own routine, according to your own, the timing, zones, and everything. Ease as well. Okay. So make sure that, you are utilizing everything properly, at least roughly you know you have to give at least 4 to 5 dedicated hours to your the daily study. Make sure that you make it a habit. Like for me, I'm the early sleeper, early riser. Okay, I can sleep even after right after Maghrib. Okay, I can sleep at 9 o'clock and I can get up 4 o'clock in the morning. And this has been my routine throughout my the student life. Okay, till date. You know, I think in 2021 I passed my the last exam. All right, so till 2021 this was my practice, my routine. Sleep early, wake up early, and then you have got plenty of time, because even if you are working in hospital, so you have to go by like 7:30 or 8 o'clock maximum. All right, so you have got 4 o'clock in the morning solid, so you can study, get up early, the pray, meditate, whatever you want to do, then study. All right, give, because morning hour is very good, I'm sure everybody knows, right? So you will study, that is going to be retained. Then you can go, your work, do your work, come back home, and the in the evening you can solve questions, because eventually you are tired, or you may need some kind of rest, or if you're not doing evening practice, so yeah, you can do questions in the evening as well. So this is what I did when I did my this MRCPI 2 and MRCOG 2. I was working as a full-time registrar in a very busy hospital. So what I used to do was I used to study on my phone. This was my the best friend in my the journey. Okay. Okay, Hania. Yes, I'm coming to this. Okay. So make sure that you are utilizing all gadgets, wisely and nicely as well. People used to say that, oh my god, she's all the time on the phone, all the time, the texting, all the time, talking to someone. Maybe I was not talking, I was studying. Maybe I was typing the question, because back in when I was studying for MRCOG, MRCPI, so I was very active on Facebook groups, the study groups. So I used to post questions in the morning. For example, I'm studying in the morning. I read one guideline. So a few questions came into my mind. I searched them. I posted on Facebook. I turned off the notifications. I went to my work. Came back home, and then I went back to that post, gave the key, and discussed with my friends. Trust me, this strategy really worked for me, because discussion really helps. So my all students from MRCOG and MRCPI, they all know that why I do emphasize on discussion, revision, and of course making notes as well. Because these things are going to help you eventually. Okay? So make sure that you are utilizing your time wisely. You're not, the drooling over material. Please, please. When I say this, I really mean it. Because material is not going to help you at all. Even like I said, everything is available. After that, if you need, the any help, any proper guidance, because sometimes what happens is that because of our own schedule or anything, we cannot study properly, we cannot follow the routine. So yes, there are plenty of, the courses around. You can join any course according to your preference, according to your, the feasibility. Help is available. Almost every mentor is guiding superb. Okay, every mentor is, the teaching very nicely. So this is all you, this is on you, that which course you want to join, just to get a help. Again, eventually every mentor is going to say the same which I am telling you at the moment. Okay, study, revise, discuss, because material is not going to help at all. In the end, you have to study, you have to the make your concepts clear as well. All right. And please don't run after material. Okay, this is the fourth tip of today's session. Don't run after material, rather discuss, okay, revise. So it is going to help you. And then again, hot topics for MRCPI. Like I said earlier, that Irish, the college, they focus on clinical aspect more than theoretical aspect. For example, amenorrhea, we do see cases of amenorrhea on day-to-day basis. Although secondary amenorrhea because of pregnancy, but yeah, primary amenorrhea is also there. Endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, labor and its management, management of ovarian cysts from childhood to menopause. For this, we have got plenty of the guidelines, green top guideline. Okay, management of ovarian cyst in premenopausal women, management of ovarian cyst in postmenopausal women, then management of ovarian cyst in childhood and adulthood, TOG article, management of ovarian torsion, okay, management of ovarian cyst in pregnancy, management of fibroids in pregnancy. So you can see almost all clinically relevant topics. Now let me ask you, don't we see all these cases on daily, the basis in our practice? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, right? Big yes, isn't it? We do see almost all these cases on our daily basis, isn't it? So who says that this exam is out of the box or out of the world? See how clinically relevant it is. Ovarian torsion. How many of you have seen ovarian torsion and dealt ovarian torsion in your life? Almost, the all of us, or maybe half of us who have been into, the residency or something. So ovarian torsion is very important. So mark my words. RCPI love to talk about ovary. Okay, not even in theory exam, also in the OSCE as well. I had my OSCE, okay. So I had one station on ovarian torsion. So teacher was so happy, when I gave almost all clinical aspects of the everything. So examiner was kind of very happy. Okay. So yeah, you have to study ovary well, uterus well, okay, benign conditions, gynecological as well, non-pregnant and pregnant. Hirsutism. Don't we see hirsutism on daily basis? Hyperprolactinemia, Down syndrome screening, infertility, contraception, HRT, menopause, and osteoporosis. Osteoporosis, there is a beautiful talk article, I think 2008 or 10, pretty old, but we don't have any other source. And things have not been changed lately. So that talk article is important. Menopause, nice guideline. Now let me tell you from where we are going to get all these, the topics. Endometriosis, nice guideline. Polycystic ovary, GTG. Labor and its management, nice guideline. Management of ovarian cyst, I have just given you. Torsion, TOG article. Hirsutism, TOG article. Hyperprolactinemia, TOG article. Down syndrome, TOG article. Infertility, nice. Contraception, FSRH, few guidelines. HRT, menopause, and HRT, TOG article as well as nice guideline. Clear? Syllabus is clear. Osteoporosis, again, TOG article. So the candidates who are already studying for this MRCPI, now they must be very clear on this thing that when you solve your past, the recall questions, you do see all these topics quite oftenly, isn't it? Sabi, Halima, am
Madam,
I?
all the four topics of MRCPI, they are mostly either from the NICE guidelines or the GTG or DOG. None of them is from Irish guideline.
Yes, because the lately Irish guideline has not been updated, but since 2023, almost all Irish guidelines are updated. Okay, so now you can the kind of think of that the questions might come this way or that way. If you just look at this slide, Sabi, what do you think? Is it something out of the syllabus, or is it something out of the clinical practice or clinical relevance?
No, ma'am.
No,
No.
right? So what is the the difficulty? You have got your syllabus, study them, download
Even
all
I think,
guidelines.
yes, madam. Even I think this one were also the hot topics of our FCPS paper.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I was coming to that point. Like in our FCPS, the theory, the part 2, okay, OSCE, and the theory paper, we do deal with almost all these clinically relevant guidelines and topics. So similarly, MRCPI is almost same as FCPS. Not in the difficulty level or not in that, but of course it has got a standard. But you can see that the syllabus is more or less same because both are almost clinically relevant, you know, the exams. On the other hand, MRCOG, the UK, that is pretty, theoretical. Okay. Okay. Now here, let me tell you one thing as well. Okay. So, the what happens is that, this, the exam doesn't bother about numbers 5%, 10%, 30%, 40%. Okay. Somebody has asked me this question as well, that what about percentages? Percentages do not come in this Irish exam. However, it is again 360-degree flip. It comes in MRCOG. Okay, so MRCOG more or less, is a number game exam. Okay, you have to memorize so many numbers from here and there, the incidence, prevalence, and then recurrence, and then blah blah blah. However, in MRCPI, they are not bothered about numbers. So don't stress too much on numbers as well. Okay, forget about numbers. What are you going to do is you are going to build your concept, you are going to make your the mind clear on that topic. For example, if you are studying amenorrhea, so you need to know that what will happen if a girl is coming to you with amenorrhea. So remember, the exam will start from age. Okay, age, then presenting complaint, then history of presenting complaint, and then blah blah blah. If you don't know that, how to dig out history, how to reach towards diagnosis, things are not going to be clear. Okay, so make sure, even you can take a snapshot of this, the slide as well, keep it with you, and do try to focus on all these, the topics. And I have given you hints as well. Okay, so do write down. Okay, do try to study, because these hot topics of MRCPI are not going to leave you, till your OSCE as well. Okay. All right, then comes the exam. So we have said earlier that the exam is all about single best answers. Okay, because MRCPI do not have any separate book. So what you need to do is that you have to practice single best answers from the available MRCOG books. But for some Irish guideline, you are going to follow the Irish guidelines. Okay. So please don't say that Dr. Zaib has said that we have to do all these, the books. Again, from all these books, you just need to do single best answers because we are not bothered about extended match questions. Okay. For example, this Get Through book, I love Get Through. I love Andrew Sizer. I love this Brian McGowan book. I love Justin Cooney book. This is going to be my last option to solve. Then recalls, very important. Again, don't try to memorize recall. Okay, do try to find out the complete the topic from that, the question. All right. Then if you are so much eager to do so many questions, then pass MRCOG is a good source for MRCPI, but not strategy. Okay, strategy is for MRCOG. All right, clear everyone, this part as well? Sabi, Halima, Rubab, because you guys are going for this exam, any question? Hmm?
Ma'am, I tried to do all these books during my FCPS preparation, but the most difficult thing at that time was that the guidelines have been updated, but these books are so old, and the
Mm-hmm.
options and to find out their errata and now even the in for this exam the Irish guidelines has been added. So, is it necessary to go these books?
You can go for, okay, because you don't have any standardized single best answer books. Okay, so for me, it is important that you need to do standardized questions. Okay, so standardized questions are available in all these books. No, 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 not EMQs, sweetheart Halima, no EMQ at all. Okay, this MRCPI is all about single best answers, but be extremely careful about the key. You won't find any standardized questions, for example, the all five stems. Okay, because there's so many books. And don't do FCPS books, don't do your local books for MRCPI. Okay, because the practice is changed, key is changed. So follow this MRCOG books. All right, no EMQ, no EMQ at all. All right, don't waste your time. This exam is not about extended match question at all. This is only single best answer. Okay, so just find out single best answers, single best answers from this book, single best answers. This Justin Cooney book, I love this book. It has got 5 papers. Every paper has the 5 papers for ops, 5 papers for gynae. Every paper has the 100 questions. Every paper has 100 questions single best answers and 100 EMQs. Forget EMQs, just do single best answers. Okay, forget
Ma'am,
EMQs. Mm-hmm.
excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, I
Mm-hmm.
have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Like in these books, they are according to MRCG syllabus, and
Mm-hmm.
there are some changes in RCPI exam, like the doses for ectopic pregnancy, expected management, and medical management. That's on beta SCG 3000, and they take it MRCG, they take 3500. So, ma'am, these changes, how can we differentiate if we read
That's what
these
I'm
books
telling you,
and
sweetheart. You have to be careful about, the key. Okay, you have to solve according to Irish guideline, not RCOG guideline. But again, for example, you are talking about ectopic pregnancy and miscarriage. So yeah, ectopic pregnancy and miscarriage needs to be done by Irish guideline. You're not going to follow RCOG for that. Clear? But for polycystic ovary, do you have any Irish guideline, Halima? Yes or no? No, right? So you will follow RCOG guideline. Now you should be clear on one thing, sweetheart. All of you, in fact. Okay. Make sure first of all you download all Irish guideline. Make a the good index. Now you are left with the topics which you need to be the here and there. Okay. You got my point? Hmm? For example,
excuse me,
20 topics are covered by Irish guideline. Now rest of the topics you have to do from, RCOG guideline or dog article. Yes, yes, dear.
Sorry, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, one more question. Like in RCPI guideline, they given you, as you said, that they given the whole guideline, quick summary, and simple summary. So
Mm-hmm.
if we just do the don't do the for whole guideline as we already read in MRCOG guideline, so almost the concept is same. So if we just go through the quick summary, would that be enough for us?
Well, I would say go through the whole guideline once, okay, then do summary. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
okay.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
do it because there are changes. For example, recurrent miscarriage guideline is bit changed in Irish than RCOG. So if you will fix your mind for RCOG guideline, I think you may find difficulty in your Irish. So first, Rubab, from today on, what you will do is you are going to download all Irish guideline. You are just going to scan. Trust me, their wording is so easy. They are very nicely written and they do, the revise. So don't get overwhelmed by 57, 58, or 59 pages. Just go through quickly. And later,
Okay, ma'am.
the if you can do for you can see, the printer that is, this is my printer. So what I do is I will print my summary, then I will quickly go through the long guideline. If I find anything which is not given in summary, I will write down on my, the hard copy. This is one, the thing. Many people they are, the well versed in the, studying on computer, so they can do it as well. But for me, I need hard copy, maybe old, okay, so old school of thought as well. So till I have my hard copy in my hand, I can't study, till date. So everybody has, the different preference. So if you can study online, so you can do. What I do is that, if I am a student like you, I will, I will print my summary, and then I will write down if something is left from that the big guidelines. I will write down from the, the on the, the summary papers. So altogether it will cover, the my whole topic. Again, let me repeat this thing because this is very important for exam. All these are recommended single best answer books, but make sure you are being very careful about keys. If some topics are given in Irish guideline, so your key should be according to Irish guideline. But if the topic is not given in Irish guideline, so the key should be according to Royal College, RCOG, RCOG syllabuses, RCOG guidelines, NICE guidelines, as well as dog articles. Okay, so there should not be any ambiguity while you are going to solve your questions or anything. All right, is everything clear? Hmm? Okay, okay, Rubab, very good. Hania, how you can work in UK with this MRCPI? Okay, sweetheart. So what will happen is once you are done with your MRCPI, okay, you have passed your theory, then OSCE, you have, your degree with you, okay, certificate. So what you can do is you will do your OET, okay, or IELTS, whichever, the suits you. You will do that, and then you will start doing registration for, the GMC, okay, General Medical Council UK. So with the help of this MRCPI, you can get your GMC. Once you get your GMC, you can start looking job in UK as well as in Ireland. But again, that GMC is not going to work in Ireland. For Ireland, you have to have IMC, Irish Medical Council registration, and it's again a pretty, the long process. Okay, for IMC. If your, the aim is to move to UK, so I think MRCPI is a good thing to go for. But if your aim is to go to UK or Ireland, then again, you have to go for GMC as well as IMC as well. Okay, Hania, clear? This is how you can. And again, the job is going to be by luck, or okay. So you have to apply and you have to keep applying till you get your desirable, the job or the post. And of course, once you will enter into the hospital or any, the General Medical Council, the setup, so things are going to be easy later on. Okay, so all these exams are going to give you a pretty fair idea about obstetrics and gynecology, how it works in, the developed countries, UK, because Ireland is in Europe, right? So with this, the Irish degree, you can even work here and there wherever it is, the accepted. So according to my knowledge, I think it is accepted worldwide. All right. Pass MRCOG? No, sweetheart. There is no PDF. There is one PDF which is being circulated for years, and I think it was even, the before when I, they graduated, 2016. So don't go for that. Okay, pass MRCOG. I think it's not that expensive, so you can get a registration for that, and it will help you later on in your MRCOG as well. Okay. if you want to. Otherwise, these sources are enough. This I'm just giving you an idea that if you really are so keen to do so many questions, then you can get subscription of PassMRCOG as well. Okay? Otherwise, these books are enough, more than enough. Trust me. This should be your last option after doing all these books. If you are confident enough that now you can solve every question from the any source anywhere, so yeah, go for this PassMRCOG. But don't just keep this thing in your mind that okay, yes, I have to do it at the 40 gbp, yeah, perhaps, I don't know exactly, but 40 gbp, yeah, I think this is for a year or 6 months maybe. So that subscription will help you in your MRCOG as well. So not a bad deal, yeah, not a bad deal. 6 months, yeah, not a bad deal. In 6 months you can crack both exams. So it will help you. If you want to save your pass MRCOG, perhaps you will study even more nicely, isn't it, for both exams? So it will be good. Anyway, so we are clear on syllabus and we are clear on how we are going to study, how we are going to go about all these things. Clear, everyone? Any questions so far? No question. All right, great. Because we have been answering side by side. Very good, Halima, Sabi, very good. All right. Now I will be just giving you an overview about how am I going to help you. Apart from the free source, of course, there is going to be a rapid revision, the course. So I am going to be conducting solely for this exam. Okay. There is going to be daily telegram discussion. 10 live sessions are going to be there. Okay, important questions discussion till March 24. I will support, of course, till exam, and duration is going to be for 6 weeks. And I have kept a very minimum, the fee, like I mean, $120. Okay, there is going to be an early bird discount till 31st of July, and I will start this course from 1st of August. Okay, and if I get the good, the number of candidates, so perhaps I will start by the end of July as well. Okay, so it all depends on the number of candidates and all, but my timeline is that I have to start from 1st of July till the exam date. All right, so anyone who is interested in the joining me and giving me chance to mentor you or to guide you or to teach you, okay, to help securing your MRCPI degree, so you are more than welcome to join me. Okay, you guys can text me on this number. Our team will the guide you, our team will help you and support you. Similarly, we have got telegram, the groups as well, free groups, free the Facebook group as well. So we are going to run the comprehensive schedules over there too. But yet again, the paid courses are the helpful, of course, in the end, just to brush up your knowledge. Okay, just to brush up how you are going to go for plus of course the I'm going to help you that how to the pick important the buzzwords in the single best answers. How are you going to the solve that question as well. Okay, so anyone who really want to the help, really want to take the help, sincere help, or the guidance, can the are encouraged to the join me. All right, because this is going to be for this MRCPI, and later the um all right, done. I will do WhatsApp, because like I said, if I get the many candidates, so I can start, because sometimes it becomes so cumbersome to handle so many groups. So all right, we can do WhatsApp, no problem. I will so please do follow me, okay, on Facebook. I have got a Facebook page as well, and then the Facebook group as well. So if I make a WhatsApp group, I will the post a link over there. All right. Okay, done. Sweetheart, that is channel. All right. Sure, Rubab, sure. Okay. Okay, done. Channel actually is going to just give you an idea. Okay. So yes, on channel I can upload things. Okay. So it is going to help you. All right. But in group, you can post your queries as well. My aim is to help. All right, my aim is to the guide you through. My aim is to give the sincere guidance, of course. With this the minimum the fee, I think we can kickstart. and we can, the start our schedule. Like I said, if I get good number of candidates, so we can start even in the end of July as well, because I'm ready. And and seriously, I really want to the teach for the all candidates who are coming to me on daily basis for this MRCPI. Okay. The crash course and all. And like I said, I have got a couple of queries even today for MRCOG2. So perhaps, I'll be thinking about MRCOG2 as well. But at the moment, my focus is Mrcpi. All right. So all of you guys are more than welcome to contact me, to to join me, and I'll be so happy to coach you. I'll be so happy to guide you and be your the friend in your this journey as well. All right. So do give me a chance. Okay. So if you guys are not tired or anything, can we do one the guideline, Irish guideline? Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Sure, the we will do. Okay. So okay, Tayeba, sure. You can send me message. Okay, you can send me message on this thing. Our team is there. Okay, so they are going to help you. 7300 496 311. Okay, this is a WhatsApp group, so you guys can the contact. All right. So we are going to start as quickly as possible. I don't mind. Okay. Sure, no problem. Okay, so this I will keep for the next time. Okay, anyone the who is ready, so we can have another webinar coming week, and we can discuss almost all these updated guidelines. Okay, overview. So I did try to summarize, the few of the important this RCPI guidelines on prolapse, on the EOGBS, on miscarriage. Okay, so let me just give you an overview. So this we will discuss in our upcoming webinar. I don't mind. Okay, I love to teach, and I really love to the interact, and I really love to spread knowledge around as well. So of course, like I said in the beginning, that this is going to be a webinar series. So today was our first webinar, and we are going to conduct the many other webinars as well. Okay, so this was first series. So I hope by the end of this, now you guys are clear on this thing, that how we are going to go for this MRCPI, what should be our strategy, how we are going to focus. Okay, in the end, let me just tell you that how are you going to utilize your last month. Okay, so with this we are going to conclude our session. With this, what you need to do in the last month is revise. First of all, do as many as questions as possible. Okay, do your recalls again and again. But again, they don't just focus on the one liner, two liner question, rather focus on topic being asked. For example, if amenorrhea is there, so you need to study amenorrhea. Okay, amenorrhea from any standardized book. Like for us, we can go for EBM. Okay, evidence-based medicine of obstetrics and gynecology, or Dewhurst, that is a very good, or the any standardized book. All right, for amenorrhea you can study from there. And then of course, if you have osteoporosis, do study osteoporosis talk article. Okay, because it will clear your concept, and it will give you the broad window to solve questions properly and nicely as well. All right. And in the end, the I should the conclude our session with this, that first of all, don't hesitate to try for any exam. Don't hesitate to try for any exam. Number one, do take the chance. If you can write the any exam, go for it. I'm not against the gaining knowledge or getting degrees at all. I'm all in the favor of the having all these degrees, because I have done all these exams. So go for it. In the end, no the amount of the time you have done, or you can say that wasted on all these exams, is exactly going to be wasted. No, this is going to help you. This really is going to polish your skills, your knowledge. Okay, in the end, what exactly we want to be, we want to be good doctors, we want to be good practitioner, we really want to serve our community, we want to be the great, you can say, the addition to our community, isn't it? Trust me, after doing all these exams, I feel a great change in me myself, in my communication, in my dealing with my patients as well. Okay. Sadly, when we are done with our local exams, we are not well versed in communication. Okay. Communication with patients, communication with colleagues. But once you are done with all these international exam, trust me, you will feel a difference in your practice as well. After doing all these exams, I have started the asking my questions as patients as well. In the end, do you have any question? Am I clear so far? Have I been the very much declare to you as well? Okay. So this is very important, that how you take every exam. So my sincere and humble suggestion is going to be, okay, go for this exam. In the end, always think, what exactly I want to extract out of this exam. How is it going to help me in my future? So for me, this really going to help you in your future to become a good clinician, good practitioner. Okay. By the end, we really want to be good doctors, apart from the financial aspects or anything, you know because that satisfaction, that feeling is the beyond words. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for being so attentive, for listening to me. And still, if you guys have any question, the anything, so I'm easily approachable. I'm available everywhere: Facebook, Telegram, WhatsApp. Okay. So for any the course related query, you can send your message to our the official number. Our team will help you. All right. So inshallah, I will be the guiding you again. Okay. I will be the talking about so many things in upcoming webinars. So please do like and follow my page, so you will get all updates on time. All right. Thank you so much, Samia, Saud. I don't know your exact name, but yes, thank you. Rubab, Sabi, Hania, Asma, Kutsia, my friend, my dear friend. Thank you, Munazza. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really honored that you are here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zaib. And I have known you, I think, longest than any one of the participants right now.
Yes.
And you and I, we both cleared the same MRCOG Part 1, but
Yes.
I owe that to you, to your
Oh,
motivation,
thank
the
you
way
so
you,
much.
you were not a formal mentor then, but you were a mentor for many of us.
Yes, thank you so much. Means a lot. Means a lot. This really, that keeps me moving. This really keeps me going. And this really helps me in teaching, in my teaching as well. Because the once you are not, the you can say that humbled, and once you are not, the very down to earth in your teaching, you cannot be a good teacher as well, isn't it? So I always give my example, and in the end, let me just tell you one more thing. If you fail any exam, don't think that you are a bad candidate. Okay. If you fail any exam, and I mean it. Okay. Maybe circumstances were not that good, proper. Maybe it was not destined at that time. Maybe I really wanted to improve on myself, or maybe it was because of my mistakes or anything. But never think that you are a bad candidate or you are a bad student. You have come this far, and you are aiming for this exam or any of the exam. It means you have got this potential in you. Okay. So never think like this. So just the get up, gear up, and go for it again. Doesn't matter once, twice, or thrice. Doesn't matter. If you have this thing in you that you have to become MRCOG or MRCPI, eventually you will do it. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, this way or that way. In the end, maybe the after 1 year or 2 year, almost all of us are going to be MRCOG and MRCPI. Okay. So never think like this, that you are a bad candidate or you are incapable of any of the exam. All right. So with this positive note, I am going to sign off, and I am going to take a leave. And thank you so much, the for bearing me. Thank you so much for listening to me. And I'll be happy to the help or guide. So like I said, I'm easily approachable. Do write to me anywhere, and inshallah I will try to help with the best of my knowledge. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. So the last but not the least, you are going to have another OSCE webinar next week with Dr. Usma on MRCPI. So anyone who is going for this, the OSCE, so be there, inshallah. Okay. So thank you so much from Team MRCPI. Allah Hafiz. Good night. Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Kutsia. Thank you so much.